E aí, pessoal, o Inside Xbox está de volta aqui diretamente da BGS. Bom, vocês estão acompanhando os vídeos diários que estão aqui na Dash. E mais uma entrevista que eu vou fazer com o pessoal da CD Projekt é o Michael Nowakowski. Bom, vocês estão jogando The Witcher, quem não jogou deve jogar porque o jogo é incrível. Eu já conversei com o CEO deles, o vídeo também está aqui na Dash, você pode acompanhar. Mas agora eu vou conversar um pouquinho mais sobre a expansão que está para chegar, que é Hearts of Stone, né? Ele vai falar pra gente um pouco mais de detalhes e tal, então agora vocês acompanham. So, Michael, Hearts of Stone is the first expansion for the Witcher 3, and CD Projekt promised more than 10 hours of new content, which is a lot. Can you tell us a little bit about this content?
Sure. So Hearts of Stone is 10 additional hours. That is a rough estimation. Of course, this can be a different experience depending on how you play the game. But basically, it's a new quest with a new monster, hunts, some of them quite surprising and quite powerful. It's a quest with something we actually told already in the trailer, immortal character Olgerd. There's a interesting story around him. Mirror Man comes back, so the person everybody who started playing The Witcher 3 and encountered him in the first inn you actually get to, knows, plays a very interesting role in there, but I want to spoil too much around him. And of course there's a Shani character, and there's a new romance about her. That's everything we've told. I mean, saying more would be giving away too much, I'd say, but there's a lot of things happening around that. And of course, there's a lot of question marks to be collected for the people who want that. Everything happens in the northeastern part, northeast of Novigrad, so the area which was rather empty in the main game. I mean, you could go there, but there was not really that much happening there. Right now, it's populated with new castles, new places, new inns, new places to visit. So that's in a nutshell. That's it. And of course, there's new mechanics like the runic words, which you can enchant into your weapons with the rune masters and change the way you use your signs by means of that, and so on and on. So there's actually quite a lot of stuff packed in, and I think we're saying it's a 10-hour experience, but I think it can be actually a little bit more depending on how deep you want to go. So for example, if you want to go collecting the question marks, probably it's going to be a little bit more for you than the 10 hours I just said. It's
almost a new game.
Well, there's games that actually have less than 10 hours.
Yeah.
So you could say that, I guess, yeah.
The gameplay is the same of The Witcher 3, or did you improve something?
Well, the game essentially plays at a basic level the same. However, well, there's improvement, there's changes, like, for example, the runic words. The runes which you can enchant into the weapons. This is a new mechanic, which can change the tactics, the way you play the game, the way you fight certain enemies. There's slightly more demanding enemies because the game is supposed to be played at a level 30 plus. However, you don't need to complete the game and be at a level 30 plus. There's an option to start new game, which pretty much lets you start with the Witcher that is already at an appropriate level. So it is supposed to be a bit more demanding for the people who already spent a lot of time with the game. So there is some, but I wouldn't say expect like a completely new revamped game. That's not the kind of thing.
Can you spoil one new monster? Only one? Dun, dun, dun.
I really wouldn't go that way, but the biggest one we have sort of spoiled is, of course, the frog sort of monster, which people have seen on the... There's a lot of cool stuff about that monster, and it's a very challenging fight. I mean, the people who had a sneak preview, some of the press members who had the sneak preview at the early, Hearts of Stone, they found it very challenging, but in a good way. So I think it's going to be a good surprise.
Okay. And when CD Projekt started working on this DLC, and how long did it take to be done?
Honestly speaking, I do believe that we started actually talking and doing very early stuff on that expansion almost a year ahead of launch. Wow. I may be wrong, but you have to understand the beginning, it's like, writing early scripts. I remember that was supposed to be the name for that was completely different in the beginning. That's one thing. The script was slightly different as well. Then it went through a couple of versions. It was just on paper in the beginning, of course. Then we came to a version which we almost liked. Then we decided we didn't like it. We scraped it off. We started with something new. It's a long process. It's almost like a process of creating a mini game. And then, of course, when we established what we want to achieve, the guys started building the whole expansion into the shape it is right now, and that's when we get to the release. So it's a long, long process, actually.
How many people work in The Witcher, including the expansion?
At the moment, it's 300 plus people, 320 plus, 350, I'd say. That's quite a lot of people, actually. Well, that was at the end. Right now, of course, it's a smaller number of people because it's major part of the team actually moved on to Cyberpunk, of course. But there's still actually a significant team supporting The Witcher 3, and there's a significant team working on the expansion as well.
Wow. Is this DLC somehow related to the books, or is this story completely new?
First of all, we like to go to the expansion because DLC is something we give away for free.
Okay.
And expansion, it's something we wanna bring back the old times when you bought the RPGs and you had the proper expansions, which gave you a little bit more of a gameplay and pretty much value for money as well for what you were getting. And DLCs slightly devalued nowadays. Some of them are big, true, for a lot of games. Some of them are like really small things which people are being charged for. We're not big fans of that. So, but coming back to your questions, no, this is not really based on any short story or anything from the books. It's something we came up as a completely new story within the Witcher universe. So it's new for the fans.
Perfect. And after the release of a game like The Witcher 3, how hard is to surprise the players with a new expansion?
That's a very good question. Honestly speaking, we probably won't know for sure until the expansion actually launches on the 13th of October. Then we'll have feedback from fans and we'll know whether they're positively surprised or not at all, or is it exactly what they wanted, or, we won't know. I mean, right now we're just about to find out from the first reviews what the reviewers think of the expansion. But the fans' reactions, that's something we're gonna have to wait a couple of more days for. But I think it's always hard to surprise players, especially since we seem to really strike a good relation with the players with The Witcher 3. So the expectation bar is pretty high, and I think it's never easy, and we knew that. And to be honest, there was a lot of I'd say positive stress and nervousness within the team to deliver something that people really are gonna like, not to just shove out, just some content just so that people have additional 10 hours of whatever. We don't care. That's not the approach we have. Really, the team was like, we have to give them something special. We have to give them something special. You actually wouldn't believe how much stress they put on themselves.
I think that's the core of the CD Projekt. That's the way you work.
I like to think so, and I this is definitely the case right now, and I hope we're never going to lose it. That's the way the team thinks. They always want to excel. They always want to over-deliver, and I think that's what keeps driving the team. That's in the spirits and souls of everybody in the team.
Keep that way, huh?
We'll try.
For how long CD Projekt will still work on The Witcher 3?
On The Witcher 3, how long? Pretty much. Well, actually, we started thinking about The Witcher 3 already before we released The Witcher 2 on PC even, so that was a long time ago. And there was some really early stuff done on that, but practically it was maybe 3.5 years of actual development, like hardcore development, going from A to Z, I'd say.
Thank you so much. Gente, então...
Thank you. Obrigado.
Pra quem não jogou The Witcher, acho que é a hora, porque o jogo é incrível e a expansão certamente vai ser na mesma qualidade, porque esses caras, eles fazem... É acima da média, entendeu? Pra quem sabe do que eu tô falando, eu não tô fazendo média porque ele tá aqui. O negócio é bom mesmo. Então, se prepara, a expansão tá quase aí. Ano que vem vai ter outra, entendeu? Então é a hora. Pra quem não sabe do que eu tô falando, fica com um trechinho do trailer e se prepara. O Inside Xbox continua daqui da BGS 2015.